Now, it's no secret that almost all of the United States is sweating through a hot summer. Some climate experts say that this could actually be the new norm moving forward. We hope that's not true. There's a new online tool that is actually making it easier to track current and future hot temperatures in our area and across the country. And joining us now to explain this new tool, Dr. Kathy Dello, North Carolina State climatologist. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Hopefully you're staying cool.
I am staying cool. The fan, the AC is on, but yeah, it's been tough.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk about the information that this new tool is going to have and how important it is in terms of translating the importance of staying safe in the heat to the general public, because I think they found that the communication has been off a little bit.
Yeah, so you and I know people get information in different ways. Some people are watching the news, some people are looking online, and this is just another toolbox for people to go to. And it has all sorts of heat data. It has tips for staying safe. But one of the really unique things about it, and one of the things that I really like about heat.gov, is that it shows the weather forecast for today and the next few days, but also what heat may look like decades out from now, so in the 2050s and 2080s. So it's a now problem and a future problem.
Absolutely. Now, the timing of this website, it almost is perfect because we've had an unprecedentedly hot number. We mentioned before in the commercial break how I've been counting the 90-degree days for Charlotte, which we've had 46 days hit at least 90 degrees in a given year. Usually we have an average of 44. So this begs the question, was this year kind of like the final straw for the timing of this website?
Well, we know that heat is a problem in the US, and we knew that it was getting worse with climate change. And we do tend to release these things at times that are opportune. So releasing heat.gov in December maybe wouldn't be the best move. But yeah, this summer is just abnormally hot across the country. We can look to the Pacific Northwest. They're experiencing a heat wave as well. And here in the Carolinas, it's just been relentless. Day and nighttime temperatures have been getting us.
Yeah, those nighttime temperatures in the 70s we've been mentioning, waking up, being hot and humid. Even our temperature outlook for the next 6 to 10 days issued by NOAA. I have up that graphic right now showing that much of the country is still going to be hot. But I also want to talk about heat as a silent killer, because a lot of folks might not be aware of just how dangerous these hot conditions really are.
Yeah, and in the Carolinas, we're used to hot summers and hot summer days. So we may be thinking, we're going to go out and do what we normally do, have our picnics, go for our runs, because that's what we've done in summers past. But this heat has been more relentless, like I said, more extreme than summers past. And also, we can be in places like cities like downtown Charlotte and downtown Raleigh, where the urban heat island is exacerbating the heat, so making things worse. And we can't see pictures of heat the way we see pictures of flooding or hurricanes. We can see people suffering, and you showed some of that too, but it can really sneak up on you.
Yeah, it certainly can, and I'm showing right now on our screen the fatalities, the weather fatalities, all the way on the right, the 30-year average, heat being number one, not by a small margin, but by a pretty significant margin. And you mentioned we can't see the threat out there. How does North Carolina deal with this heat? Us as a state, we mentioned how we have beautiful topography, whether it be the beaches off to the east or our mountains in the west. As a state as a whole, how do we deal with some of this heat?
Well, we know that we spend July inside in North Carolina, which is counterintuitive to some folks maybe who look to get outside in the summer. But we have to remember that a lot of folks either don't have access to air conditioning or a cool space, or can't afford to turn on their air conditioners and have to seek shelter in other places like libraries and rec centers and grocery stores as well. So we're trying to find cool places to be wherever we can, but sometimes it's not so easy.
Yeah, I want to talk about the alerts and something that obviously heat.gov will be helpful with. When we have heat advisories, as we mentioned, you said Raleigh, where you are this morning, under a third day straight under a heat advisory. We have that kind of coming up right now. What do we do when we see heat advisory, heat watch, heat warnings? What exactly are these telling us, and what's the proper reaction?
The proper reaction is to take these seriously. So I've seen sports practices moved to the morning or canceled entirely or moved inside to a gym. I adjust my personal habits. I'm not running around outside at 2 p.m. But I'm also bringing a water bottle with me and knowing that maybe my plans will change and I have to duck inside and not spend time outside this weekend.
Now, one last question, Dr. Dello, is we're looking at the threshold for the heat advisories. What are some of the things we should look out for in terms of being safe in the heat? If we're out, unfortunately, during the 2 o'clock hour, the 3 o'clock hour, and it's bearing down on us, what are some signs we should keep an eye out for in order to stay safe?
Yeah, you bring up a good point. Not everybody can make a choice to go inside at 2 o'clock. We have folks that need to work outside, and that's part of their job. So when you start feeling sick, dizzy, faint, any sort of nausea or, just general malaise, you should get to shade, get some water, and get inside if you can. It really does sneak up on you, and you really should take it seriously. I know we like to tough it out and say, well, I'm doing fine, it'll be okay, but we really need to take heat stress quite seriously.
Yeah, famous last words, I got this. No, we don't. Take a break, right? Dr. Kathy Dello, North Carolina State climatologist, thank you so much for taking the time this morning, and please stay cool.
Thanks for having me.